Hey, hey, hey. We're back. Come on in, you guys. We are back. Happy Wednesday. Thank y'all for being here on the way in. Just hit that like button if you're not subscribed already. Hi, Harlem. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's all good vibes over here. We lit y'all, so come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Okay. I'm going to get the link for anybody. Hey, VFF, we missed you last night. It was such a good live last night. Let me see. Let me get the link. We had a good live last night. We talked about it all. And we back again tonight. Hold on just a second. Welcome, 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 y'all. It's Wednesday. We halfway through the week, and court was today. I spelled that wrong. And it started a little late today, and they got out before 5 today. So, but they got some things to talk about. Let me see if I made any typos. Yeah. All right. So anyway, the link is in the chat. If you want to come on up, hit the like button. If you're not a member, because you can become a member today. And thank you, BFF, for becoming a member. Thank you to all the new members, all the returning members. We appreciate it. All right. Oh, Rich, there you are. Hey, BFF girl.
Hey.
Is your internet working? Everything up and running?
No, it's I don't know what's going on. I hate Verizon here in New Jersey. This bad. Bad business.
We can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So,
Excuse me.
Harlem, are you in? My internet is messing up bad. I don't know what the problem is. But let me see. All right, so we're gonna get started. Okay. All right, we're gonna get started. Recap from today. I only got a few little of those bars. What is wrong with the internet around here? I hope I don't get kicked out. Let's just do a little recap of what happened today, and then we can get started in the conversation. So let me find my specs here. Oh, there she is.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find my earbuds.
It's okay. It's okay. Glad you made it. All right, so we're gonna do a little recap, and then we'll just jump right in. So it says, what to know about the trial. So a former girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs, identified by the pseudonym Jane, was back on the stand for her fifth day of testimony. Just a little point right there. She will be, the defense claims they'll be finished with her by tomorrow morning. So we'll probably have her the whole morning tomorrow. Defense attorney Teeny Garrigos continued to press Jane on her relationship with Combs, attempting to complicate her allegation of forced physical violence and abuse. We'll talk about that. Jane recounted how she was upset when she saw photos of Combs with rapper Young Miami, and at one point broke down in tears as loving messages between her and Combs were read in court. It said, I resent him for how much I loved him and couldn't say no to him, she testified. Combs faces 5 criminal counts, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has voiced fiercely denied the allegations against him. So let's talk about her being back on the stand and what we are thinking as of today, because like at this point, for me, at this point, it's given she's in love with him. He ain't doing what she want him to do a lot of times, but a lot of times, like, she would prompt the hotel nights. She would text and say, I'm ready, I want it. She would go buy the items they needed for the rooms. And so that's what the defense is showing. And she would say, like she told us in her past testimonies, that every time I'm with him, he wants to do a freak off. But today, Teeny Garrigos gets up there and she's just like, remember on April such and such day, did you do a freak off then, or did you spend time? She said, no freak off. Remember on this day, did you do a freak off then, or did you? She's like, no freak off. Well, remember on this day, did you do a freak off then? No freak off. So really what they were trying to show is that she's saying, she's getting up on that stand and she's telling us that this is what constantly happens on a regular basis, and she never gets the time that she needs from him. And there at one point, he had asked her to do it, and she was like, "No, I don't feel like it." And he's like, "All right, cool," and nothing, and they didn't have to do it. So at this point, Harlem, Bridget, if you've been following, I don't know if you had time today. What are you thinking about her? Like, is she a strong witness? Like, what are you thinking? Is this just somebody that is in love with somebody that ain't trying to wife her or make her number one, and she getting in her feelings? Because if you look at it, if you go all the way back and you look at it, she didn't really get upset about things until, well, the Cassie thing came out and she broke up with him, but until she wasn't getting the things the other girls were getting. Like, she was only getting freak offs, they was getting more than what she was getting. What are your thoughts?
Did Bridget want to go?
No, I haven't been watching. I've been sick all week, so I haven't seen nothing all
Ew.
week, ladies. I
Okay.
know.
Oh,
So
okay.
I come to listen today.
Okay. I hope you feel
Oh,
better.
okay.
Feel better soon.
Yeah.
So I don't know if per se she's I don't know if I want to say she's a strong witness because I think if he wasn't locked up, she would be right back with him, even though she says that she's in therapy, she's going to counseling. She's still in love with him, and
And
if he was to just say come, she would go.
yeah, and I think that the only reason, I don't know, I could be wrong, that she did it is because he went to jail. And so she thought, well, I better start working on myself or whatever. I feel the same. I feel like if she was done with him, I mean, she's in love with him. I feel like she's in love with him. Um, and that's, I mean, that's just it. And that's why I think that the prosecution is kind of winning with her, because they're showing so many opportunities, so many instances where she prompted the freak off, or that she was telling him how much she loved him and how she got on her knees and prayed for him. You know, how she would go out and shop for the items and get matching shorts for her and for Diddy and her escort. I mean, I think that she was bitter when she found out about other women getting things that maybe, you know, getting more than what she was getting, like getting in front of the camera. On her birthday, he sent her like $15,000, and he said, for your $15,000, I'm gonna get you a private room. All your friends get together, you have a dinner. How was that? She's like, it was okay. Like, she wanted to get out of the hotel and be seen, and she said he just didn't want her to be seen. So I mean, it's those things that make me like raise a brow, like, I don't know about what you're doing. But at the end of the day, she did say she did not want to be testifying. Like, so she didn't want to be up there testifying, and she dang sure didn't want to be up there testifying against Diddy. That's just my opinion, and that's what it's looking. That's what it's given.
Yeah, she actually didn't have a choice because they would have charged her as a co-conspirator.
Right, and that's the only reason that she's up there. Otherwise, she would not have. I don't think she would be there. And she did. Of course, she didn't want to go to jail. You know, she got a son, and so
Right.
let me send this to my daughter. Hold on one second. Okay, I got that done. So anyway, yeah, so that's her. And then like they've held her for 5 days. And I feel like we just keep hearing the same stuff over and over. All it is a bunch of DV, a bunch of freak offs, and a bunch of rug use, a bunch of it. And I don't know what I do suspect, and I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. So we found out who Paul was. I didn't know. I found out today who Paul was, right? So Paul is Diddy's personal trainer. He came in the equation and was doing the freak offs with them, right? So couldn't they call Paul for what do you call it? I had that already. Couldn't they call him for something by force is what I'm trying to say.
Because Paul should have been a witness.
Yeah, he should have been a witness for, and I'm trying to see, I had it. I left my notes at work, but for, you know, when they say that he needs to bring his force, when they need to bring an employee, and put him on the stand to show forced labor, right? So
Yeah.
dang, I
Wow.
couldn't get that out. But because
Okay.
now you done brought your trainer that you pay, that's on your payroll, into the equation, and you paying him for these FOs, I think that he should have been called as a witness. That's what I think. I would be embarrassed if I was her doing an FO with his personal trainer. Like, come on.
Wow.
Not the personal trainer, but she would rather him. And there was times when she would like he would ask her about the Italian or whatever, and she thought the Italian was gross. But he's like, okay, Paul is available. Boom, Paul, come and do the FO. So I feel like Paul should be on the stand and he should be called as a witness for forced labor. That's my opinion. Thank you guys for being here. Come on in, hit the like button when you come in. Go ahead and subscribe. Good vibes over here always. Did somebody say something? Okay. So that's Jane. Really, it just kind of sums it up for me for Jane. I really don't have a lot more on her unless she just comes tomorrow with a bombshell. I think my opinion is that she wanted to be his girl, and she called herself that because she said that's her partner, her lover, which he didn't look at her like that, I don't think. And it's just a bunch of what I said: sex, rugs, and a whole bunch of freak off and baby oil and all that stuff. So that's that. So I wanted to talk about also, we heard yesterday about the jurors, and we heard that the prosecution wanted to have juror number 6 struck. And so it was like, what the world, why are they having juror 6 struck? I still don't know why, but I know there's something, because she came back today and she was like, the prosecution was like, they gave us no choice but to have to strike this juror, and for whatever reasons. And every time they talked about it, of course, the juror was out of the room. And so the defense comes back and the defense is like, well, why are we wanting, like, he's cool, like we don't need to strike this juror. Are we striking this juror? And this, I'm ad-libbing. Are we striking this juror because this juror is black? You trying to get rid of a black juror? And basically there's like, let us write a letter, let's talk about it tomorrow, and we'll see if we're gonna go follow through with him being struck. Right now he's kicked out, but we're gonna see what the defense comes back and decide tomorrow. I think they're going to talk about that tomorrow. I just am very curious about this juror 6. I know that it feels like there are some Diddy fans on this jury. I feel like there's 1 or 2 Diddy fans that are on this jury, which is going to cause them to have, what do you call it, Bridget, whenever they all go deliberate and they just couldn't come with all couldn't come to the same conclusion? Is it going to be is that called a mistrial?
No, they had to, it's locked. When it's locked
right
like that, when they can't, it's locked and they can't come to the thing. They got to stay there until they get it together, or they can go in and call it a mistrial. They can call it a mistrial if they can't everybody get, you can have a certain amount of votes. If they can't get everybody on the same page. So if they all go in the jury room and they deliberate, say they take 10 hours, 6 hours, right? Mm-hmm. They come back and they tell whoever's going to check on whatever that we just cannot come to an agreement. We got these people over here saying this, and we believe this, and we have combed through the evidence. We have talked it from the top to the bottom. We cannot come to a conclusion. They can say, stay here and work it out, or they can say it's a mistrial. So they have that choice. The judge does. When the bailiff comes and go back to the judge. It's up to the judge if he wants to make them stay there and keep on for days or whatever, however long it takes.
Okay.
It's up to the judge.
But isn't that like, I feel like if you've made your mind up, then that's now I got to persuade somebody to just jump on my side so we can all be on the same page. Oh, no.
After a while, sometimes they wear on them, because they keep bringing the facts up and keep on, and they'll wear the thing is to weigh on that person to get them to go with them, to sway them their way. A lot of times it don't work like that.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting.
I mean, if Diddy has a couple in there on his side, if Diddy has a couple people there on his side, that's a good thing for him, but that's a bad thing for the prosecution,
Yeah, it's a bad thing for the prosecution.
Maybe that's why they're getting rid of juror 6.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, so they already told Diddy stop looking at the jurors, stop eyeballing them, looking them straight in the face and shaking his head at them, right? They said Diddy been doing that the whole trial, Harlem. Like he been in there just to making faces. He said this morning he came in there and stood up and turned towards turned towards the audience. Like this dude. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, but just from what I get from the courtroom, from the people in the courtroom, I feel like there's just this one or two people that are Diddy fans that are just not going to believe what the witnesses are saying, and they are not going to come to the fact that he's not guilty. So either that's going to happen, I'm just predicting, or they're all going to just be like, this ain't enough evidence to convict him. They could do that too. So I don't know. But I'm just wondering. So back to Juror 6. I just think, I don't know what I think about him. I just think that he's probably one of them he made eye contact with. And Harlem, you had a little bit of information on that, didn't you? Did you just say he was in somebody's chat?
No, Tyrone Blackburn, he's a lawyer. He was in somebody's chat and he said that the juror, he was partial to Puffy because of eye contact that they made and nodding the head at each other. But there's this lawyer that I follow on TikTok, and she had been to the trial a few weeks, like 2 weeks, I think she had went. And she said when she first went in the courtroom, she made her a chart of the jurors. She said it was three of them, and juror number 6 was one of the three that she saw that was partial to Puffy.
See? That's a problem.
So it's two more. There's two more.
I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it. I just felt that. Listen, this man is so powerful. Like he got super fans that, and when I mean by super fans, it don't matter what he do, they just gonna ride with him. That's just like, with R. Kelly, there are super fans. Like no matter what he's doing, they're gonna ride with him, whether right or wrong. But for P. Diddy, people are going to ride with Sean to the bloody end. They not gonna stop. So I believe it. I believe there's going to be a problem with the jury. At least one or two. Like there's there's a couple of young people. There's an older lady. There's maybe an Asian guy. But I just believe that there's a couple in there that's like, y'all can talk till we blue in the face. I'm not gonna convict this man. So this is my other question then, Bridget. If I guess it's the same question though. I'm just wondering. So if the juror 6 get kicked out, do the backup jurors, they're also sitting somewhere listening to this trial? They have to have been, right? Like
they're on standby. They're there, but they're there. They usually have the extra jurors come in there, but they shouldn't be. They're not listening.
So how they gonna know? How they gonna know?
They have a room for the jurors. There's a room, and they have them in there. So I don't know how they're gonna. I don't understand that part either. I don't know how they're gonna kick him out and bring somebody else in, and how they're gonna put him up to speed.
That's what I'm saying. That was my point. Like, how if he's not somewhere listening? These other overflow jurors, they have to be listening from beginning to now to be able to step in and pick up where this one got kicked off.
I don't know. But I know they have another room for him in there. They have
so whenever they say like take a break or lunch or whatever, they take them to that room, right? Mm-hmm. Wherever.
Yes.
And so nobody sees the jurors. None of the public sees the jurors once they leave the courtroom.
They're not supposed to.
Okay. Well, that's
so
how.
When is? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say. So when is it that it is a possibility of a hung jury?
That's my question, Bridget. What makes it a hung jury?
Just like she said, when it's a hung jury, well, I guess when I was calling it the law, that's a hung jury. When they have
Oh,
like that's a hung jury. That's like when everybody like out of the 12, they got 4 that's saying no, we're not going to go, and then they have the other 8 saying yeah, he's guilty. They have 4 saying they got to get the other 4. That's a hung jury. If the jury is
Okay.
hung, that's what a hung jury is. If they have it, they got to come. They got to get them, unlock them. I call that a lock, but that's a hung jury.
yeah. Gold Tree Saint Bach, welcome to the chat. I'm glad you're here. And he said, and just like that's what I was thinking. Like the alternates have to be somewhere listening and follow everything, just like the regular jurors, in case somebody gets sick. In case there's a death in their family, they gotta go. In case, like in the instance, juror number 6 is possibly struck. So I think they're probably somewhere listening. I mean, you got to be, because
in that room,
it's 5 weeks in. How you catch somebody up with 5 weeks of all that? You can't.
no, you can't. So, like I said, the room. I guess they have that room that maybe that's where they're all at in their room. They're listening in there. You know, and they got a microphone or something in there. They listen to all the testimonies in there.
Yeah, because just like they have an overflow of the community, the public goes in this overflow room, and there's a TV screen in there that they can hear everything. So I bet you that's what it is. And they have to be there every day, just like regular jurors.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much. I mean, we're going to continue to talk. I just wanted to take a pause right now and thank everybody for being here. Welcome, Bridget Rogers Daniels, to the new membership. We appreciate you, Harlem, for returning memberships. Anybody want to become a member, just go to Black Link Experience and you can get locked in that way. Hit the like on your way in. Hit subscribe if you have not already hit it, because we are lit over here. Good vibes only. All right, let's continue this conversation. Where are we, Harlem? What do you have for us today? Do you have anything?
Well, they're supposed to be finished with Jane tomorrow. The defense is supposed to finish the cross-examination, and I don't know if prosecution is going to redirect, because they were saying that some of their witnesses they would be able to start calling tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they still have a few more witnesses. They're going to be resting their portion of the case by Wednesday, no later than Friday of next week.
Hey, Montana.
Okay.
Now I'm not so sure. Matter of fact, I think I can rule KK out for the prosecution. I don't
You think
know.
so?
I don't know, Harlem. Where is she? But Jane has taken up most of the time, though. But do you really? Are you still leaning on possibly that she's coming?
Because some of those text messages were taken from her phone. So wouldn't she have to come and testify? If she don't come and testify, then she gets charged as a co-conspirator.
And when she came out and said she's not doing that because she didn't do nothing wrong, is what she said. And like Simone said, shout out to girl, is that legal? Your legal bestie, Simone. She said, if you don't see them sitting in the courtroom, then it's likely they could be testifying. And she named a couple of people, and we have not seen one inkling of KK been there. And as close as her and Sean are, or Puff, whatever you want to call him, as close as they are for years, don't you think she would be there to support him? Or no? I don't think.
So is she going to be called as a defense witness?
That's what I was saying too. I think she's going to be called as defense. I'm with you, Harlem. I think she's going to be called a defense.
But listen, y'all, if she does that, does that not make her a co-conspirator?
Yeah, it would. It would.
And I'm telling you, just like somebody said this the other day, when Epstein went to jail, they wasn't really okay. So they knew about Ghislaine Maxwell, right? But they was honed in on Jeffrey Epstein. And the minute he was unalived himself, however that happens, The minute that happened, they went after her. And so the census is saying that if he gets convicted of this, she would be next that they will go after if she doesn't turn over and be a witness for the prosecution. But I just don't know. She is a mystery. But what I'm telling y'all, and we all know, she has been mentioned from the time Cassie got on that stand to today, where Jane Doe has been on that stand when it comes to the witnesses. She has everything to do with everything that Sean does on a daily basis. You can't tell me she don't know. How you don't know that this girl, you just throwing this girl in the shower because she just sick out the blue? No, you knew somebody, or you may have called them and said, bring the rugs, make sure you got this. That was what she did. She's the top, she's the head. And whatever Sean communicates with her, she's telling the people under her, I need you to do this. I need you to pick up this. Oh, by the way, I need you. So I believe she knows it all. She knows every move he made. I want you, KK, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for KK. I need her to say something. I need KK to say something. Hey, Raquel Jackson, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. If you have not already, you guys hit the subscribe button and become a member as well if you'd like. And Raquel said, where is the RICO? I asked that question last night. Well, Harlem or even Montana or even Bridge, either anybody, give me your scenario on how we met. We can do this again. We did it last night. How we met the RICO, because she had that question. And I think we definitely got 2 of the 10. I believe that. Maybe I'm wrong.
You think you have 2 of the 10?
I think.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what I was listening today to a former judge, and he was on a podcast with his son. I guess and they were talking about, and same thing. He said the same thing that I said. He said, all the charges that they have against Diddy are state charges, domestic abuse, doing all the stuff he did to those women and everything. And he said that out of all of those charges, he said, since the time has, ran, they can't charge him for the domestic charges. He said he feels like Diddy's maybe going to get a couple years. They can't give him a lot for those charges that they're going to give him. But he said he feels that Diddy's going to get some time, but not a lot of time. And they said on the RICO that he's going to get the least amount of time because it's going to be the lowest form of RICO. I don't know. I didn't understand what he's talking about, but he was saying the state charges, all the other charges are state charges, and they have passed, the time is they can't charge him for those. So they're going to combine everything, and he thinks that they're going to give him the least amount of time on a RICO charge.
And so he will get some time served too, right? By sitting in here during trial.
Yes. And he said something about 10 years, 5 to 10 years. That's what he's saying. I said, oh, okay.
I don't know if y'all listen to Stephen A. Smith. I think that's his name. He's also a sportscaster, but he's been talking a lot about.
Yes.
You listen to him? So he don't think it either. He was like, well, I haven't listened to him today, but prior to today, he was like, this just ain't happening. Like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not getting there. They not getting me there for Rico.
No. They said, they're saying that he's a bully. He's ego. He's got money. He's just doing everything, and he's used. Yeah, and it's not. Those women, he said, those are consenting women. He said, because those women are saying yes, even when he tells them that, he beats them, they still come back for more. They're still doing it. And then he said it's confusing because they're sending text message to him after the fact, and they're coming back after the fact. And he said that's just an abusive relationship, somebody that's beating their women. And he said he don't see no RICO in it. He don't see no trafficking. So I don't know. I got that from that Stephen man too.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like at this point, even after today, I'm just like, okay, so there's a bunch of DV that of course he can't be charged with, you just said. There's a bunch of rug use. There's a bunch of willingness. There's a bunch of even her asking for it. You know what I'm saying? Even on the DV in her home, she hit him first. And it's not, and I'm not saying that right for him to do what he did and kick doors off hinges and all that stuff? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is she put her hand on him first. He bent down to tie his shoe. She knocked his head into the marble counter, and that made him click. And that's after the Kathy video. So it's a lot with Jane. I do believe her story. Like, I don't think she's worried about anything. But I just what did Raquel said, but these women were willing participants and they were getting red carpets, diamonds, $10,000 a month rent, trip. They knew what they were doing. Exactly. And then so she also said, well, they was like, why? But why keep going back? Why? Well, my therapist is helping me realize and see why. And maybe she just really was in love with him. And she was afraid because she's so jealous, right? She's jealous of Young Miami. She was jealous of Cassie. She was jealous of Gina. She was jealous of Kim Porter, and she has disease, right? And so I'm thinking she like, I'm done. Like, she really wanted to be done, but she's like, nah, because if I'm done, somebody else get my spot, right? With him. So he already told me, like, if I'm done, that's fine. We can break up, but I'm gonna give you 3 months to get it together, and I'm not paying no more rent after 3 months. So it was a bunch of that. Like, for me, if that was me and I was done and I was hurting, like having UTIs, got to do it to all kind of strangers, no condom, no nothing. You don't protect myself. Give me the $10,000, but I'm gonna have a plan. You better believe I'm gonna have a plan when that 3 months was up.
Yeah.
I wanted to say to anybody that's in here, if you want to come up on the stage, Raquel, you as well, because you got a lot of good stuff you're saying. You can come up here. The link is in the chat. If you don't see it, I can drop it again. Just let me know. Montana, what's up? We ain't heard from you tonight.
I came I didn't know you was live.
You didn't get the notification?
No, I didn't get it.
What's happening? Did you call?
I got a notification.
I did too.
You did, Bridget?
I was so happy to click on YouTube just now because I know like around this time you usually go live around between this time at 11. So I clicked on YouTube and I seen your red thing was on, so that's what made me come.
Okay, dang, we're gonna have to fix that. But I appreciate you being here. You know, we got love for Montana in here, y'all. She said, but what about? Okay, I want to. Raquel, do you want to come up? Because you can come up too. But anyway, she said, but what about men, sons? I told my son. What about men, sons? I told my son and her woman hit you. You hit. That don't kill, and she smack you. So I get what you're saying. Whenever she admitted to like knocking his head into the marble counter, and he went off like that, like we know that you can't whoop no man. She already knew what he had done to Cassie, right? So you already saying he goes off for any little thing that makes him mad. Why did you put your hands on him? Like I that part I didn't, because if you hit somebody, their reflexes is to hit you back, and you already know he's known for that. So I don't think I would have punched his head in the marble counter. And she was throwing hot candle wax at him at one point. Like she was pretty violent too. So I mean, I have not jumped off the fence on the side of that. I think Unique Thoughts, that name. Thank you for being here. I just don't think that I'm there. Oh, you at work? Okay, that's fine. So I get what you're saying, Raquel. Like, keep your hands in your pocket if you don't want him to hit you back. Like, I don't want my son hitting no woman. Do not. But I don't want a woman hitting my son, and I'm not going to justify for him to hit her back. But I am going to justify for him to walk away and just leave it alone. So, anyway, that was good. So, let me see what else we got. Harlem, you can jump in. I just be talking because I'll be getting excited about it.
Well, you had asked the question about the RICO.
Yes, I wanted to hear from you.
So the predicate acts I feel that they've proven are bribery, the kidnapping, and witness tampering.
Wow.
So do you help us? Okay, when you say bribery, I'm there with you. Bridget, you gotta be with that. I'm
I'm not
telling
with
you.
that. Explain. Y'all need to explain. Explain me why y'all think it's robbery.
You go first, Harlem. I'm gonna tell you, or I'll go first. I don't care.
Because the guy at the hotel, he got in contact with him. KK got in contact with him, and then he spoke to the guy, and he said that he could change his life or make it beneficial, or however he worded it.
Yeah.
And he gave them $100,000.
Okay.
And so basically, that's bribery. So the bribery don't have to go in. Like, what are you looking at as bribery, Bridget? So you don't believe that? Like, I'm telling you, listen, man, I need that. I need that video. I need that video. It's
Yeah.
gonna f my life up. It's gonna f my career up. I need that video. Well, I can't do that, man. I cannot do it. He sends his assistant calling and blowing his phone up. And when he told him no, she shows up to his job to get the video. All right, give me a number. What does he want for the video? I need that video. He's offering him money to give for something,
Yeah.
to get a criminal act.
To that one person. That we're not talking about the manager, right? Then we're talking about the other guy, right? But then he goes
The
to his
guy,
manager, and the manager.
yeah,
Okay.
he was the
So
security
okay.
guard that went to his manager. So he was the middleman, but he's the one that got the cash from him in the brown bag, and he told him, "Don't spend it." Now you know it's criminal. Don't spend it in lump
Yeah.
sums because they'll be on to you. That's right. I mean, that's a crime.
But at the same time, I don't think it'll be a RICO. I think the prosecution will be satisfied with their conviction, because if with a RICO, you gonna have to bring down a whole organization with it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
It's,
I
gotta
agree
agree.
with you, Montana.
because with a RICO is
I
more than
agree.
one person involved. They bring down the whole
Right.
label, other people, other
Right.
associates with that label, and it's a lot of powerful names could
KK.
be involved. It ain't gonna go that far.
They about to.
Yeah, but the RICO, that's the thing. All of his co-defendants have flipped on him. Everybody that testified that wasn't a police officer, the fire person, whatever, all of those assistants, all of the victims, they're co-defendants.
But at the same time, they can't use their crime against them, because you have a law that's called, you got a well, it's not a call a full, what's the other one called, 504 prop 50
405,
504
four,
405. You got a
something like
405, and you got a law called a profit law. That means when you are when you're impeached to testify, you could testify about all the crimes you committed, even murders, and they cannot use it against you because they're using you as a prosecution. They can't use your crimes against you. So they done made a deal. They already done made a deal. They already done, agreed to testify. So they can't indict them on no RICO.
I agree with you on that. They can't. They can't be. It's like double jeopardy.
There'd be double
That's
jeopardy,
what
because you had me on trial to say this, because
you
when the prosecution, like before this trial even started, all those people that's testifying, the prosecutor done
gave them
already
immunity.
prepped them before the trial. If I ask you this question, say this, is
that.
this how you say it? This is what you do, you get prepped.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's what they're trying to say about Jane, that the prosecution, she met with them 24 times, and they're saying that because really she was supposed to she met with Diddy's team, and somehow they was onto her, and they told her either she testified or she not. So they prepped her, and that's what the defense is saying, that they prepped her to say what they wanted her to say.
That's why, like all the questions the prosecutors asking them, if they witnesses of the prosecutor, every question the prosecutor asking them, they already been prepped for it.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they all did say that they have met with the prosecution team X amount of times. I think Mia met with them more than any of the other ones.
And that's, I
So
mean,
yeah, they always prep.
that's the protocol, though, right? I gotta let you know what the defense is gonna come at you doing. Guys, they gonna
Yeah,
really flip the script. They're gonna really try to ask you the same question in 5 different ways, and this is what you need to be prepared for. So I
And
think
the same way those women, the prosecutor witnesses being prepped, Diddy was already prepped. Hey, Jane Doe go come up here and say this, so this is what we're gonna use to defend this. This is what we're gonna do to defend this to block this out.
Okay.
When you
So
when you're in a trial, every day it's a whole new game plan. Things change in the quick of a second.
yeah,
That's
that's
why
a
when you see them sitting at that, that's why when the prosecutor cross-examining, you'll see the lawyer P. Diddy write something on a notepad because they want to defend what was said or whatever, or they prepare for a tactic for what was said.
I get that. I see that. That's good. That's good, Montana. So then what's the next one, Harlem, that you have?
Kidnapping,
Yeah, kidnapping. Talk
and that
about it.
would be Capricorn Clark.
Yeah.
The
She was
kid.
forcefully removed from her home by gunpoint.
Yeah.
So that's a given. That's a given. But here's the thing, they was like, but how can they prove it? I mean, she's sitting there, she telling you that's what happened. And they was able to prove like the footprints, right? I'm at this man's house. He came to my house. She said she didn't want to go. He said, get your clothes on, you going. He had a pow, right? He takes her, and now I'm over here. They get a picture of the truck, and it comes back to Bad Boy Entertainment. So that, I think the kidnappers, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, anybody dispute that?
I mean,
I don't see how you can dispute
Is
that.
kidnapping one of the
Uh-huh.
one of the charges too that he has? Okay.
It's under
The kidnapping falls under the RICO as a predicate act.
but you could catch a kidnapping over something simple. I could just tell you,
oh
shut
no.
up, go get in that corner. That's
Yep.
kidnapping.
And don't let
Because
them.
I'm holding you against your free will.
Oh, it is. Anytime you hold somebody against their free will, if you exactly what you said, go in that room and close that door, don't come out. That's kidnapping. Not you literally wrapped them up, kidnapped and took them off. You can just not let them leave out the doorway. That's kidnapping. I learned that. That's a
And
fact.
you facing a whole 30 years behind something just that simple.
Yeah. Sad. Thank y'all for being here. Like, I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like. Let's see how many likes we got up in here today. We only got 8 likes. Y'all hit the button if you will for me on the way in or on the way out, either way. All right. So we got the kidnapping and the bribery. Harlem thinks that the RICO is. I think so too. I think they got the RICO, but who am I? I don't know.
And the witness tampering,
The witness tampering. Let's
because
talk
they
about
got a whole victim that disappeared. Her and
where
her lawyer.
I mean, well, just like I said,
yeah,
with the charges y'all stating, he ain't gonna get a lot of time because bribery ain't nothing.
See?
Tampering with evidence ain't nothing. You get probation for that.
see what you said. See, Bridget, you said that too. What that
Yep.
man
Yep.
said today.
That man said
So
he
I believe he'll probably get probation.
But see, this is federal. It's not state, and they have the sentencing guidelines that they have to
But
follow.
but but at the same time, you got to realize, even though they spent all this time on this case like that, on this trial like that, they don't care nothing about that case. They want no drugs and no guns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They want them cartels and how these guns get across come across the ports. They don't care nothing about this case. If they get a conviction, who or well, they don't care as long as they got a conviction.
Hmm.
And
Sounds
the
about
feds
right.
very rarely lose cases because when they get you, they got you.
whew.
One thing about the feds, they'll watch you for a whole year before they indict you, and they got a
Mm-hmm.
whole year of evidence with pictures taken and all. When they get
Mm-hmm.
you, they
That's so
got you.
true.
When they get you, they got you.
Yeah.
That's fact. Wow, it's crazy. So who we got coming up tomorrow, Harlem? Do we know who's on the list for tomorrow?
They're finishing with Jane, and then they'll see in the afternoon because I think it's James Cruz that they're supposed to be calling. It's another assistant. His last name is Perez. It's a chef, and then I don't know who else they're supposed to be
See,
calling. So I don't know.
this is where they're getting into the forced labor. Whenever
Okay.
they're calling the chef, they're calling another assistant. I think this is where the forced labor comes into act. And
I
I want
remember
them to go
excuse me.
ahead. That's okay.
I remember reading something about a chef, a black lady that was his chef, that
Yep.
he did something, he did some real bad stuff to her.
He did her wrong. He did
Yeah,
her
so and
bad.
if it's that lady that's coming, yeah, they got him on that that
Yeah.
labor.
Yep. She was just like throwing her back. Like, did he hit her? I think he
Yeah,
hit her.
he did something to her real bad.
Like
I
you,
remember that.
like you remember when the case first started, everything looked so bad and terrible for him. And now when they get no witnesses, now it's looking like, well, dang, they know what they were doing and they were taking the money. Like that's how everything's starting to look now.
It was about the money. That's what I heard today. Like, this was a money grab. And
Yeah.
because every time like she would see Miami with something, then she would want it. Like or Gina posted on Instagram that he had bought her the necklace. So then she had to have some, like, it was about what he could I think some of it was about what he could give her. And they was whatever you can give me. But she felt like she deserved it because of what she was going through. But again, she was a willing participant a lot of times, even though she say she didn't want to do it, she went ahead and do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like, if did he force you, or did you just like give in? And it's like, all right, well, just come on, let's get this over with. So
And then another thing is right, like like the way like when you see trials where jury members get kicked out,
Hmm. You don't.
like it's all type of stuff going on here. That's why I believe he'll get probation. If he don't get probation, he ain't doing no more than at least about 5 to 10 years.
10 years. That's what I said.
And he ain't gonna do all that. He'll go to a little program and be out in 2 years.
I thought you couldn't get good time in feds.
Yeah, you
85.
they got all type of programs in the feds for early release, like rehabilitation programs.
Oh, okay.
He can go to a halfway house.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay.
And then the money and the status he had with the high power lawyers he got, they ain't gonna let nothing happen to that man. Especially when it's obvious that it was about money.
It really looks like that at the end of the day.
Let
A
me
lot of
can
it does.
I want
Go
to
ahead.
say something.
Yeah.
Um, so Diddy's been doing this, having these parties for how many years? I mean, but
Forever.
yeah. So the feds has been watching this whole time. That's what my question. They've been watching this whole time, and I want to know. I guess I need to ask y'all that because I'm trying to figure out what prompted them to this investigation. Was the Cassie getting beat, or was it somebody else high up, powerful that called
So
them, sick him on him? I want to know how they got it because he's been doing this forever and ever and ever, and no one's ever said nothing. Then all of a sudden, boom, 2024, here he called this stuff, and he beat
for
this
See,
woman
over
up in 2016.
for over 30 years. And
Yeah.
the speculation is that he had sued Ciroc.
That's what. Yep, that
And
man, them two, that yes, that's what I
yep,
heard too. And that
and
man is
they
part of the
yep,
mafia.
that's what they're
That's what I
saying,
heard.
and that they wasn't having it, and that's when it happened. But
Yeah,
but Kathy came with that lawsuit. She was fed. Somebody was able to sit her down and say, "Listen, this is what you need to do." She came with that lawsuit, and everything exploded. So I don't think I think that they've been wanting him, and now they just felt like they had enough to come.
like I feel like it would have been a RICO if they was mentioning about drugs being distributed or if he was paying those bribes off with illegal drug money, then yeah. But that was hard earned, honest work money. That's what don't make it so bad. Now if they was saying, oh, he was selling pounds here, pounds, 1,000 pounds here, and collecting money here and going overseas to get this and going to get that. Then yeah,
Yeah.
but it was legal money that he was bribing people with, and bribery happens every day when you got that type of money.
Yeah.
Little do we know, all in the courtrooms there's bribery.
Yes.
In the corporate business, there's bribery. In politics, there's bribery. Everybody wants to get where they want to be by any means.
It's
And
the
I have one more
truth.
thing to say.
And
I
they
don't know.
use anybody to get into the position they want. And then when they get to the position they want, is bump everybody now.
Truth.
Because I got what I wanted.
And I feel that way about that judge. I don't care what nobody say. He's not. I don't care. That judge is not for the right. He's not for Diddy. He's
You
not
don't
for.
think so?
I don't think he's a fair man. I don't think so. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Looking in, and I've had my run with the law, and you can tell.
You
The
know.
judge
Oh
is
yeah,
not.
you know.
Yeah, I know. He ain't. He's not in the middle. He's strictly for the prosecution. He is not. Any other judge would give some thought and some, so he's not. I don't think he's being fair. I don't think the judge is being fair at all.
Do you
I'm not
think that
well,
he?
I'm not for Diddy. He needs to get knocked down a few notches. I'm not for Diddy. I'm not for the domestic violence. I'm not for none of the stuff he's done. He needs to pay for that stuff he done. But
But let
I
me tell you
believe
this right
that
here,
judge.
Bridget. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you a flashback right here.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going to give you a flashback. You remember the YSL trial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Young Thug ain't got half of the money Diddy got.
Right.
Right.
And Brian still got
And
him
they be
off.
and he been in trial what 7-8 months straight.
Wasn't that
For
in
YSL.
Atlanta though? That
Yeah.
was New York.
It still don't
No.
matter. It still don't matter. At the
And
same time,
didn't the judge
at the
get put
same
off
time,
his case too?
at the same time, you heard about all the murders that they say Thug sent them to go do and
Mm-hmm.
all this, and you see what he got? Probation.
Yeah. Probation. Yeah,
They
you're
told
right.
about all the drug money, all the murders, all the drive-bys, all the hits, and he only got probation. So what you think Diddy gonna get?
Yeah, that's something to think about.
And Thug ain't even got half of the money Diddy got.
Ooh, he showed on.
Not even a quarter of the money Diddy got.
Mm-mm. Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's just a flashback.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You just don't never know. You never know.
You don't.
But he again, I mean, he got a powerhouse legal team, and they're going at every angle, and they ain't gonna stop till they get what they want. But as far as the judge, like me, I don't know, maybe I'm just too, I don't know, but Bridget, you know about judges in Oklahoma. You
Boy.
know how that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I just thought that I thought he was like being really fair.
And and this is another thing.
So,
Let me tell you, I watch a lot of Law and Order and Victim. I watched a lot of that, and I watched this last night. I watched Law and Order last night. This is not even. And the judge, it went down from the judge to the DA. It was crooked. It was like the district judge, the appellant judge, the judge in the federal, the judge in the state, and the DA, and some prosecutors. They were all in on this money thing. And
right.
it was all crooked and they were bribing each other. They had something on every last one of them. And that made them do something. It was all about a 16-year-old girl. It was so much chaos. And it showed how the system is corrupt from the ground all the way up to the top. And they got every last one. They got all the judge. They got everybody at the end. And the big man judging the killing themselves. But I'm just saying, it's just showing how everybody is corrupt. And that's the same way that is like here in the world today. I believe that there's so much corruption in the judicial system all the way. It is.
Oh, I believe that.
It
Absolutely
is.
believe that. I absolutely believe that. I believe they all stick together. I just believe it.
You know why?
Why? Tell
So
me
they
why.
can all get voted back in their positions. All of this is for votes. Certain cases
Yeah.
they take serious, and certain cases they let go, so they can win the people votes. You see,
It's
when
so
it's
crazy.
election time, they slay everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Very
right.
brilliant. That's very brilliant. Yep. Wow. Good conversation, y'all. Good conversation. I think, and if we are thinking this way, the jurors are too. Like, they have, I just believe, like I said, I just believe that it could be very well be a locked decision. I think when they go to deliberate, it could be like, unless somebody moving forward comes with something, they just knock it out the ballpark. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. So Harlem, you super quiet.
I'm here.
Okay, what you thinking?
I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it all play out.
That's all
Yeah.
we can do.
I
And I,
just know that when the defense starts calling their witnesses, if I see that Sean Combs is being called to take the stand, I will be there. I will be there.
that's when you better drive over there, Harlem, and let us
Thank you.
know what's going. Bridget will meet you over there.
Let me know. Tell me, Harlem. I'll meet you there. Woo! I'm gonna meet you there.
That's when it be
Because I
going.
need to see that for myself.
That's when it would be crazy. That's when you have to show up. Like you cannot not show up for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, y'all, I had a good time. Anything else before we get out of here?
I don't think I had anything else.
I didn't think I. I don't think I did either. I just really wanted to, kind of figure out, kind of talk about, the jurors and stuff, and we kind of covered that. What went on today? How Jane is performing as far as her testimony. Again, she'll be there in the morning. I don't know what else she can bring to the table. I mean, they just keep beating the dead horse to me at this point. Like, what else can she say that's going to help or hurt? I don't think it's nothing else. I'm
Yeah,
just
but the defense, they're going to drag it out. That's what they do.
That's
Yeah.
what they do. That's their job. So this is like the fifth week, and prosecution said they would be done by this week. Tomorrow, Thursday, I don't think prosecution will be done by Friday.
Yeah, they saying by next week, Wednesday, or no later than Friday, they should be finished.
They'll rest. Okay. So they needed 6 weeks. They needed the 6 weeks.
So the defense don't need that much
And
time.
then y'all can rest with them because goddamn y'all been working hard on this case.
Shut up, Montana. Shut it up. Yes. And so, right? So now does that mean the defense gets 6 weeks too?
That's what I want to
No,
know.
I think they said they needed 2 to 3.
Oh.
Okay. See, it
Mm.
might be a little long, depending on who they call and how long they keep their witnesses on the stand. I guess that would matter. So there you have it. All right, y'all. Well, anyway, so we're also going to be following the R. Kelly thing. I don't think they'll let him out. I don't know though.
Thanks for coming, Unique. She said she'll definitely be back.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Unique. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. I'm so glad you caught our live. We be here every night. So while the trial is going, we've been going every single night. And if you want to, you can also come up and give your opinions if you want to, or in the chat. But thank you for catching us tonight. Welcome back.
Mm.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to go for now, and we'll be back here around the same time tomorrow. I'm going to catch y'all in the morning.
Okay. Can we talk about R.
What helps
Kelly?
me better is when when you post what time you coming.
What'd you say?
What helps me better is when you post on your wall what time you
Okay.
starting.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll post it every
So
time.
when
She
you five
she
minutes
she
late,
did post it.
so when
You
you
didn't
5 minutes, so when you late, I can hold you accountable. So it won't be my fault.
and then he don't show up when I'm on
I was
when
hoping
I'm
that
on,
I beat Harlem to the punch here today, but she beat me here.
when I'm on time, you don't even be here. when I be on time. When I'm late, she's like, "Where you at?" Inbox me, "Where you at?" Real quick about R. Kelly. Like, I don't
Yes.
know really a lot about this right now. I just woke up and heard that the government was scheming or had a plan to get an inmate who was deathly ill to plot an unaliving for him. And so I don't know really what's going on, but they had a press conference. So we're gonna dig a little bit more into that just to see what we can find out about that. So at this point, that's all I have. Does anybody else have
Okay.
anything else?
Well, Tasha K said earlier that they did come and get him last night from North Carolina. They moved him at 2:30 in the morning. She said
Mm.
they didn't disclose the location. So I don't know.
Oh,
They're supposed to have a hearing next week with
okay.
a judge
Excuse
in
me.
Chicago, but now
Yeah,
they're trying to figure, should the judge be seen in Chicago or should it be seen in North Carolina, since that's where he was being housed at.
where it happened. Yeah. So basically, pretty much, whoever went to this inmate to tell him said that he, instead of him going and pulling it off and doing the unaliving, he let R. Kelly know what they had done and asked him to do. And so R. Kelly got with his lawyers, and here we are. So we're going to continue to follow that story as well. So you guys tune in for that. If it's nothing
Okay.
else, we'll go ahead and get out of here. And then I'll see y'all right back here tomorrow. I'll post it on my wall. I will call you on Instagram, whatever I need to do. So you will know my
Let me just say one thing. Montana says that once the case is done, that we need the
Rest.
rest too. It's going to be something else for us to pick up on. We
it's just
can't
gonna be
Yep.
so
rest.
it's nonstop. It never stops, Montana. So we don't
Never.
get no rest over here.
Hey, phases be right down notes like she go cross examine people tomorrow.
I promise you, I'll be having my notes. I am not playing about it. Harlem got some notes over there too.
Yeah, too.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, it was fun tonight. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
All
All
right. Good
right. Good night.
night.
Good night.
All right.